When I was a little girl, I loved the Bratz. Everything in my life was Bratz coded. I had the dolls, the convertibles, the movies, and the games. I was severely infatuated with the Bratz. Yes, I was one of those weird kids that watched people play with their dolls and come up with all these weird storylines and rip each other's heads off. And it kind of influenced the way that I played with my dolls. But what's fun about having tea parties 24/7? I mean, there's gotta be some violence in there. When I was 10, my mom took me to Blockbuster, when those were still around, to rent a game for me. I chose Bratz Forever Diamonds, and I loved that game. It was so good. Since I liked the game so much, after returning it, my mom took me to GameStop, and sadly, it was nowhere to be found. I wanted to own that game. What I did find was the Bratz Girlz Really Rock for the PS2 as a replacement. This game was released October 13th of 2008, around the same time as the movie. And well, I hated it. It was not like the other game that I wanted it to be so bad. With that, I've blown off the dust and picked it up again years later for you guys to see if my opinion has changed. Starting off with a scene straight from the movie, this is our opening sequence. I always thought this scene was a ripoff of High School Musical 2's beginning scene, or maybe it was just super similar, but that's what I observed. Embarrassingly, I know this song word for word. The plot of the game opens with the Bratz having missed the bus to their summer camp, Camp Starshine to be exact. Which is so weird given the opening scene in that the girls were quite literally on the bus. Bratz being the Bratz try and console each other through this time and are met by Katya, who apparently missed the bus as well. Her bright idea is to skydive into camp. She teaches us how to skydive and earn style points by posing while falling. Finally, the girls land and perform at the landing zone. My assumption is that this is a tutorial on what is the bulk of the game. I was so happy to hear this music again. It was like music to my ears. It was all coming back to me, and I was kind of enjoying it. This is like a rhythm game and an RPG all in one. The tutorial is complete here, and we unlock a new guitar. Sweet. The Bratz get to their cabin and they essentially tell the player how things work around here. Save your progress on the laptop, take the cell phone with you to keep up on tasks and side quests. If you want to go back to Stylesville, you can take a bus, and that there's many things to do while at camp, such as play mini golf, take dance, and music classes. Chloe says that the camp is a ticket to the red carpet. If you know the Bratz, you know that the aspiration they share in common is stardom. And then the exchange ends. Okay, so what do we do now? Guess we're going to the main stage. Before we headed out though, I wanted to give Yasmin a bit of a makeover at the vanity area. Or at least try. The designing mechanics in this game were really infuriating when it came to customizing makeup looks and outfits at some point. The sensitivity of the analog stick was just too strong and I really couldn't get the precision of the eyeshadow correct, so I decided to just go with the default makeup style and keep it pushing. But as a child, I could really appreciate the dress-up options the game had to offer. So this is the first time we're getting to touch grass in this, and from the looks of the environment, the budget of this game was low. Once I got to the main stage, I got another clip from the movie. The lady with the rad haircut tells us that pretty much everyone at the camp has extreme talent and will be competing in the finale showcase. This showcase will be judged by a well-known filmmaker, and he'll pick the most talented to be the subjects of his new film. Sounds like the opportunity the girls have been looking for to dazzle. And now the conditioning starts. Oh look, a message from Roxy inviting us to the music studio to learn a track. On the way, we run into the infamous Tweevils and a little snobby Anya who's too focused on dance to make any friends. Sasha definitely has beef with this one. I did stand and talk to Dylan where he asked me to complete a side quest, but I declined during this time and headed straight for the music studio. I just felt it was too early in the game to start taking side quests. Roxy has this super cute style and cool hair, and she's gonna teach us how to shred on the guitar and finger the keyboard. Yep, I said it. Before practicing, I weighed my options of clothes and wasn't super impressed by them, but I wanted to go with anything that wasn't default. Customizing in-game characters always makes the gameplay more fun and personal for me. Anyway, Yasmin learns the first part of the piece, Diva Dreams, and this is the trajectory of all the lessons. Each song learned is split into 3 lessons followed by a solo. After each lesson is completed, there's this unnecessarily long loading screen that spawns your character a few inches away from where they're supposed to be, just for you to walk back to complete a different lesson. My biggest gripe with the lesson learning in this game is the lack of difficulty. I think I know my way around the PlayStation controller pretty well, and would have been more intrigued if I had the option of choosing my difficulty. The level of difficulty here gives you time to look down at the controller and back up to the screen just in time to hit X, triangle, circle, or square. That's good for non-hardcore gamers like myself. In order to win the showcase, the Bratz have to be good at music, dance, and fashion. They have to be a triple threat. On to the next lesson. Extreme Angels on guitar is when the tunes start to kick up, and now I'm not yawning. After a while, the songs really start to get annoying after splitting parts into lessons and learning the corresponding choreography. Mind you guys, I still have trauma from how much I hated this game, and I've heard this music so many times. Hearing it now again over and over is triggering. I learned as much as I could in one day and finally took a break to explore more of the camp. I went shopping and bought some ballet attire because, again, I'd rather choke than wear something default. I made my way to the dance studio to get back at it and was greeted by Anya. She expresses that we cannot dance in streetwear and again takes blows at my outfit before I can even get a chance to change. Anya is now on the hit list. Anyway, I changed into my newest ballet attire and ooh, look at me, I'm so cute. I definitely feel like Anya was hating because why would she say,
"That's a little better"?
I got this specifically from the ballet section and it was the most expensive. Here's some haterade from Amberade just for you, Anya. Dancing, like playing music, is practiced the same way. Here we are once again listening to Diva Dreams. After finishing up that lesson, Anya explains to us that she underestimated the Bratz and admits their impressive dedication to dance, while also inviting them to practice their own routines at the studio. Yes, girl, humble yourself. Remember how Dylan asked us to complete a side quest for him earlier? Well, here he is again being thirsty. Dylan wants us to figure out what kind of music Anya is interested in. I accept this task, but don't actually complete it. Initially, I had gone to ask Anya herself what she's into, but was distracted by the very anxiety-inducing ringtone of a text message. Oh look, it's Leona. She wants to help us in the fashion department. I met up with her and went to one of the stations to make some cool designs for the show. I tried my best with what I had, and I was kinda happy with it. For some reason, I couldn't change every color of the shoes, so I did what I could. Here's when the game gets random. Okay, so we have a pet now. He follows us around, constantly barks for treats even though he doesn't want anymore, and it's just a huge burden and responsibility I don't want. How do I get rid of it? Apparently there's more music for us to learn, so I went back to that, and at some point, all of a sudden, a new difficulty was unlocked. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. We got medium. It was still too easy, but an improvement. Roxy clears us to be able to play the track anytime we like at the landing zone, but when I tried to do that, there was no option to. Back to the drawing board. Woo, we've unlocked hard. Best believe that's the difficulty I stayed on for the rest of the game. It was still too easy. And the only time I missed something was when the game had a weird lag. It's old, what can I say? I'm not taking accountability for that. That was the longest song ever. Are we show ready now? No, of course not. If it wasn't already apparent, this game is extremely repetitive, which is a good thing for my brain, but also a bad thing because it's like not in a good way. The ones who get it, get it. I got to a point in the game where it was just all about photos, photos, photos. I had to take all these pictures of the camp and our rockin' outfits to prep for the show. I also took a trip back to Stylesville, shopped at the mall, bought some music that I genuinely loved from the Bratz when I was younger and kind of still do. Oh, and I got rid of the dog. Going back to camp after my breather felt like prison, to be honest. I had a feeling I was nearing the ending of the game, or at least getting much closer to performing at the showcase with all this music, dancing, and fashion prepping. The Bratz decided to get together to make a poster for promotion purposes before performing and prompted me to go back to the fashion studio. I was playing with fire the entire duration of this game, you guys, and I say that because prior to this playthrough and filming, I was having major disc reading issues. All my other games were working except this one, and unfortunately was to my detriment in not allowing me to make it to the end of the game. This was mainly all the footage I was able to get, but I still wanted to make the video. All in all, the Bratz Girlz Really Rock game was kinda bad in my honest opinion. I wasn't fond of it when I was a child, and the current feeling of nostalgia for me lasted for a very short time. Picking up the game for a few days was kind of dreadful, and I'm not entirely sad that I wasn't able to continue playing. Hopefully the girls made it to the show without me. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you want more content like this, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.